Nikita Marama. 23, Lil Dart. Number 24, Charlie Sulepa. 25, Anna Peacock. 33, Bella Fletcher. And 34, Neve Lale. The coach of the Pirates, Graham Williams. Assistant Celeste Williams. And the manager, Rachel Fletcher. Now onto the court, we call on the other undefeated team of the competition, the Gold Coast Wave. Number 5, Jordan Billing. Number 7, Hayley McDowell White. Number 8, Jade Peacock. Number 9, Amelia Andrews. 11, Layla J. Cameron. 12, Liliana Rattano. Number 15, Sky Mason. 17, Jessica Petrie. 21, Shauna Preston. And 40, Kaylee Wakarangu. Coach, Anthony Petrie. Assisted by Sarah Petrie and Janelle Cameron. And the manager, Leilani Clark. Our referees for today's game are Caitlin Hurd and Riley Chapman. Thank you. We'll have 2 minutes final warm-up and then commence our game. Girls can shake hands. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hibiscus Sports Complex here in Clump Road, Mount Gravatt for the Under-16 Girls State Championship Grand Final between the Southwest Metro Pirates and the Gold Coast Waves. As always, my name is Regan Baker, joined by the fantastic John Guarner on the mics, and we'll be bringing you this presentation between these two amazing teams that have come undefeated through the entire competition to be here in the Grand Final.
Well, we certainly have the two best teams throughout this tournament playing off for the gold medal today, Regan. Both teams come in undefeated, as you said, and neither team really has been tested. The closest game for the Pirates in the tournament was a 2-point win that they had over Logan in the pool play. Gold Coast has been blowing everybody out, so it's going to be a battle of two undefeated teams, two really strong teams. It should be a great one, so make sure you definitely keep your eyes peeled for this matchup. It's going to be great.
Yeah, definitely so. And having a chat to Rob Tankey, the GM, before the game as well, this Gold Coast team won the Under-14 National Championships last year as well, so obviously there's been a couple of changes between then and now, but it does go to show the strength of that Gold Coast team and how those girls have developed into the team that they are here in the Under-16s. But the Southwest, the entire representative season throughout, they've been a really, really tough competitor as well. So like you said, I don't think we could ask for two better teams in this game here this afternoon.
We definitely couldn't ask for two better teams, and Gold Coast is certainly the hunted, coming off that national championship. They're the team to beat. Pirates, though, going to have a lot to say in this one. Some really good matchups, couple players to keep your eye out for the Pirates. You've got Lil Dart. She's led the tournament in scoring throughout the entire event, and Gold Coast, of course, they've just got talent all over the court. So keep an eye on Lil Dart. Looks like Lil's going to be in that middle there to take the opening jump for the Pirates.
Yeah, and just waiting and getting things connected up, and the referees getting themselves ready to go. And the referees for tonight's games, we got to give them a shout out as well. Caitlin Hurd and Riley Chapman also competing throughout the entire week for position to get to the grand finals. So it's great to see two young referees out here also doing their work to build themselves towards the SBL and the QBL later this year.
Great opportunity, and tip is up, and it's one. No, it's not. We're going to jump again. Possession arrow doesn't favor anyone, so what do we do here, referee Regan?
It'll be a re-jump, I believe. No one gained clear possession before it came into that second jump ball situation. So we're going to go back into the center circle, have another jump, and try for round two.
And looks like Pirates come out with it. First possession of the game goes to Southwest on their home court. Three-pointer attempt is up off the back of the rim. Rebounded there by Preston. And you could hear Coach Williams from Southwest screaming at his team, make sure we D-trans. Gold Coast likes to get up and down the floor.
Yeah, definitely so. They're a really strong team, this Gold Coast team, as they go to the outside rim for the three-point shot as well. But that one was just a little bit too strong. but good work on the offensive glass from Gold Coast, picking it up. Nice little handoff there for the outside jump shot. Also a little bit too strong.
I think Southwest would be really happy if they keep the Gold Coast to the perimeter. A couple opportunities for Gold Coast, unable to convert. Dart misses her first attempt. Fighting for the rebound. They're going to call another jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Gold Coast. So getting scrappy here. You could see that both teams really want this one. This is the gold medal game. This is for the best team in the state of Queensland. So you know all the players that get out there on the court are going to be going 110%.
Yeah, and it's good to see the girls getting out there and being nice and aggressive and chasing after that ball early as well. Because especially at some of these younger tournaments, you do see, just great defensive drive there. Offensive drive down the center of the court for Lily Rotuno, getting the first points on the board for the Waves.
Yeah, great drive there by Rotuno, and Coach Williams won't be happy with his Pirates team on that one. Transition defense is going to be a key for the Pirates, and they'll let Rotuno go coast to coast.
Just to get back to what I was saying before, Johnny, just seeing young girls being aggressive in the way that they play basketball is really positive to see, especially considering when we come to the QBL commentary, we like seeing that strong physical game of basketball in the women's side of things, and that's exactly what these girls are working themselves towards, which is fantastic.
100%. First foul of the game goes against the Gold Coast. Number 21, Shauna Preston, picking up her first personal, the first team foul for Gold Coast. They're up 2-0 here, about a minute and a half into the first quarter. Good defense there by Rotuno. Backdoor cut is open, and the Pirates get on the score sheet. Niamh Lale with the first points for the Pirates. It's 9-2.
And that was just a great bit of patience there as well from the girls from Southwest. Just holding the ball up on that three-point line, waiting for that backdoor cut, and perfect little dish off. Come down the other end of the court, Gold Coast doing the same thing. Those backdoor cuts unfortunately didn't go in, but great offensive look there from the Gold Coast.
Yeah, good look on the pick and roll from the Gold Coast. Now Southwest looking to get on track. Good steal, though. Great hands from the Gold Coast. Going coast to coast. Missing it is Cameron. But following up for the points for the Gold Coast was Preston there. So, again, really aggressive in transition. Gold Coast, they're up by 2 now, 4-2. Gold Coast doing a really good job containing Lil Dart at the moment. Rotuno has had the assignment. Dart fires the three that's off. Petrie comes down with the rebound. Just going to kick ahead to Mason. Now Gold Coast going to get reset with Rotuno. Over to Cameron now.
It's good to see them not rushing into it, just setting up that shell on the outside, and a great offensive drive there from Layla J. Cameron. Nice little left-handed hook for the 2 points there.
Yeah, it's a great take by Cameron getting into the lane. That wasn't as easy as you made it look either, flipping it in with the left hand.
So 6-2 the lead now for the Gold Coast Waves, taking on an early lead over the Pirates. We're only 3 minutes into the game, and Southwest with an opportunity now. As Dart goes inside with the handoff, but great defense there from the Gold Coast.
Pirates forced to take a long three that goes off. It's knocked out of bounds by the Gold Coast, so Southwest will have possession. 14 seconds to go on the shot clock. They're trailing by 4. Few into this one. Here's Dart again in the corner. Goes inside to Lale. Skip pass. Pirates working around the perimeter here. Really looking to get Dart on the board here. Shot is missed, and then another rebound for Petrie.
Yeah, Gold Coast is doing a really good job of crashing the boards at both ends at the moment. We've seen some really good offensive rebounds down their end of the floor, but they're really crashing the boards every time Southwest takes the shots and get themselves inside.
Good defense there from Pirates. Now Dart looking to push the pace for Southwest. She flips it up. It's no good, but she's fouled. That one's going to go against Jessica Petrie, her first, the team second. And Lil Dart, the tournament's leading scorer, is going to go to line for 2 shots.
Dart's really great at drawing that contact as well, you know. In my slightly fatter days at the moment, Johnny, I have managed to come out and ref a couple of rep games throughout the season, and I have had the pleasure of reffing these Southwest girls a couple of times, and Dart is really great at doing that. She'll drive to the bucket. She knows the defensive player is there, draw that contact, and get herself to the free throw line, where she is really great at making those easy shots.
Well, she hit them both, so Pirates down 2. Checking in for the Pirates is Charlie Sulepa. Getting a breather is Anna Peacock. Rotuno, point guard for the Gold Coast, breaks the Pirates' pressure. Now Petrie comes off the screen, skips pass, works it over to Cameron in the corner. There's 8 on the shot clock. Cameron drives, dumps it inside Rotuno. Nice pass for Mason to finish with the left hand. That's beautiful basketball there from Gold Coast. Here comes Dart getting into the paint and finishing with the right hand. Nice Euro step. Dart with the last 4 for the Pirates. They're down 2. Familiar face on the sidelines for the Gold Coast Wave. Anthony Petrie was the coach for that national championship last year as well. You may know his face more recently from the Brisbane Bullets as well. Dart again gets inside, lays it in with the left hand. We're tied at 8. Coach Petrie going to go to the bench.
And it's just really great to see as well, as you said, Johnny, Coach Petrie coming down, having played a season of the Brisbane Bullets and coaching a junior league competition. I mean, it's just amazing to see that kind of level of involvement in the basketball community and not just reaching that peak level, but not sharing your knowledge and sharing your basketball expertise. So it is really great to have Anthony Petrie down here coaching these girls as well.
Dart fires a deep one. That was a heat check there. It's off. Substitution for the Gold Coast checking in, Jade Peacock. And Shorna Preston going to get a breather. Pretty tight battle here, though, so far. 5 minutes into the game. We're tied at 8. Neither team really able to stamp their authority on this one just yet. One thing to keep an eye on, Regan, Gold Coast turnovers. It's creeping in a bit for Gold Coast. They're missing a few bunnies as well, like that one there from Mason. But in saying that, they're doing a good job on the O-glass as Petrie gets the cut to the basket and is rewarded with the layup.
Yeah, that was a really nice little look there on the inside. And, I think the low scoring that we've had in this first quarter, Johnny, is just due to great defense on both ends of the floor. Both teams doing a really good job of their full court pressure and just standing in front. Like, as we see here coming out of the Gold Coast, like amazing pressure to make that shot from Sulepa really difficult. And that's happening down both ends of the court.
Rotuno throws one up. It's off. Cameron, offensive rebound. Excuse me, that's Rotuno there, draining the 3. Coach Graham Williams takes a timeout. Not happy with the Pirates defense. They're down by 5. It's a good timeout because Gold Coast was starting to pick up pace a little bit there. Obviously, Coach Williams is going to talk about some of the defensive rebound issues that the Pirates are having at the moment. Gold Coast really dominating on the offensive glass.
Yeah, definitely so. I think that's probably going to be the one big thing that they're going to have to look at, Southwest, is just how they're working that box out, getting themselves inside, getting their bodies in front. Because at the moment, Gold Coast is, we don't have the live stats here in front of us, but I would say Gold Coast is probably 2-1 on the rebound count over Southwest. So they're doing a really great job on every single shot, getting in front, getting those boards, and it's given them those put-back opportunities to get those additional points on the board.
And I think the Pirates are doing a really good job defensively fronting the post, and that's where Gold Coast struggled, getting it over that front. We saw a few turnovers out of the Gold Coast there, but Gold Coast is not going to stop. They're coming to come at you full stop the whole time they're out there on the court. They're a very aggressive team. We see it in their style of play, looking to get up and down the court, attacking the offensive glass. And again, I think they're doing a great job on Dart. Even though Dart has 6 of the 8 Pirates points, they're really making her work for all those. So Dart, if she's going to have a big one, she's going to have to earn every bit of it.
Yeah, definitely so. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out from here and what was discussed by Coach Williams at that break. But I think you're right. I think Southwest is going to need to work on that offensive line as well, get the ball to Dart, or just look for those inside cuts as well, because the girls are doing a good job, especially with that baseline cut, to get themselves free. And it's just going to be how they capitalize on that. And
good bit of pressure here from the Gold Coast coming out of the timeout. Dart working on Rotuno, picks up her dribble. Kicks it out now to Sulepa. Sulepa crosses over, gets inside, goes to the left hand, can't finish. Dart, offensive rebound, putback is good. Lil Dart doing it all for the Pirates. They're down 3.
Yeah, really good job on the inside there to get those 2 points. 3 points down. I mean, it's still absolutely anyone's game. Both teams working really hard, and great offensive look there from the inside. I believe that was Jessica Petrie, just working away into the center, drawing that foul for the 2.
It was a great look. I love that wing entry to that free throw line, and it was a nice cut there by Petrie. She was really looking to be aggressive coming off that screen, and when you catch aggressive, it puts you in position to draw the contact there. And Petrie got rewarded with the foul, and she'll get 2 shots. Gold Coast goes to the bench. Haley McDowell-White checks in for the first time as Petrie hits the first. Also for her first action this afternoon, Jordan Billing on the court for the Waves. Petrie missed the second. Good rebound there from Sulepa. And Dart looking to push it up court. Edwards thinks about the long 2, picks it back up. Goes to the left hand. She's blocked by Petrie. Great defense there from Petrie, and she's looking to push.
And there was really good patience there from Edwards as well. Like just seeing that little shot fake, taking the hesitation and then driving around, but come down the other end and a huge three-point bucket there from the Gold Coast to take the lead out to 7.
Yeah, huge three there from Haley McDowell-White. Last time I was out at a women's game was the Women's Grand Final Series, and it was her sister, Jessica McDowell-White, draining threes. So Haley picking up for where her sister left off here in Queensland basketball as the drive-by dart. She picks up a foul. She's going to go to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, the McDowell-White domination in Southeast Basketball Queensland is it's been around for quite some time, and I still remember back in the days reffing Haley in under 8. So it's good to see her, growing up, becoming a great player here for this Gold Coast side as well.
Yeah, great shot there from Haley also. First minutes on the court, first touch of the ball really on that end of the court, and drains a 3 from deep. Dart missed them both. Good rebound there from Preston. Oh, no, excuse me. That is Preston. Gold Coast up by 7, 17-10, 2:40 to go in the first.
Yeah, very rare double miss there from Dart from the free throw line. So, Southwest maybe just a little bit shaken at the moment, but great inside play there from Shauna Preston for Gold Coast, taking that lead out to 9.
Yeah, just great position in there from Preston, picking up the miss and going right up with it. Gold Coast up 19-10, and Pirates really need someone to step up here outside of Dart. Tough hook shot there from Sulepa, misses, and the Gold Coast off and running. Layup is up and good. That's Jade Peacock. And Gold Coast up double figures now by 11.
Yeah, I think Southwest just need to slow down their slow down their offense just a little bit, just to try and find that open play. They've taken a couple of rush shots in the last few minutes. That's probably one of them there as well, where they could have held up a little bit longer into the shot clock, found an open cut through the center of the keyway, because that's where a lot of their points are coming from. So I think Southwest just needs to slow things down a little bit, give themselves a little bit more time to look for that open shot.
Rotuno throws up the floater. That's off. Offensive rebound and put back by Preston is good. That was a great play there from Shauna Preston.
Yeah, the Waves are really showing a lot of poise in this first quarter. It was nice and tight to start out with, but Gold Coast now, they've just settled in, they've found their feet, and they're just playing a really smooth game of offense.
Little hook shot off for the Pirates. Strong rebound there by Dart. She brings it down to the floor and is stripped by McDowell-White. Here comes Rotuno. Skips it over to Billing. Billing will bring it back out to her point guard, Rotuno. Over to McDowell-White. Drives baseline, gets it to Preston. Good ball movement here. Jump shot rattles off the rim and is no good. Fighting for the rebound is saved by Gold Coast. Preston misses the layup. Gets her own rebound, though. Gets it back out. Billing jump shot strong. Another offensive rebound and a strip there by the Pirates. They're going to call it travel on Southwest, so it's going to stay with the Gold Coast. But Pirates are really scrapping here, and they have to. They're down by 13.
Yeah, and that was a perfect example of what I was talking about during the timeout, Johnny. Southwest they're not getting themselves into that board. Gold Coast just had 4 attempts in the one passage of play to make a bucket because they picked up those 4 offensive rebounds. And to be honest, they didn't even really have to work for it to quite a degree as well. So, Southwest really going to need to get themselves into the key, get their bodies in the way to get those defensive rebounds.
And Layla J. Cameron just comes in and hits the jump shot. Pirates are going to get called for 8 seconds here. As unfortunately for Southwest, Liliana Edwards slipped up. So another turnover here for Southwest. Down by 15, 25-10. We got 25 seconds to go here in the first.
Yeah, 2 passages of play left in the game here with a 15-point deficit. Big 3-point shot there from Gold Coast. Couldn't quite go in, though, but Southwest just standing out of court on the rebound as well. So it's going to go back to the Gold Coast with 17 seconds to go, 7 on the shot clock.
I'm surprised it didn't reset there. It looked like it hit the rim.
I think it might have just missed the front. It was a little bit hard to see from our angle, but yeah, the referee's definitely saying it missed the rim, but nice little workaround there from the Gold Coast to put 2 points on the board. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter.
It's just great ball movement from Gold Coast and great recognition by McDowell-White to just slip in. No one guarding the inbound there. That's too easy there for Gold Coast. Waves are really rolling here, up 17. Southwest could use a bucket here with 8.4 to go in the first. Something to kind of get a bit of momentum going, but that's not what they wanted, a turnover. And the layup, though, missed there by Billing. Southwest can still get a shot off. It's up by Dart. Nearly rattles home, but it's off. So heading into the quarter-time break, it's a 17-point lead here for Gold Coast. And if you're a Pirates fan, it was not a pretty first quarter there, but luckily for Southwest, there's 3 more quarters to go. This game is long from over. Even though down 17, there's a long way to go in this one.
Yeah, there definitely is, Johnny. 17 points is not too hard to come back from, so Southwest still in it. That does wrap up the first quarter, so we're going to take a quick break as well. We'll be back with you shortly with more Under-16 State Championship action presented to you by the Stream Team Australia. And welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex in Clump Road, Mount Gravatt for the Under-16 Girls Division 1 gold medal game between the Gold Coast Waves and the Southwest Metro Pirates, proudly presented by the Stream Team Australia and Panagos Productions. John, great first quarter of action, especially coming from the Gold Coast Waves. It was close for the first 5 minutes, but that last 5 minutes, Southwest just crumbled a little bit, and Gold Coast really, surf was up. They found their way to put 17 points on the board nice and quick.
Yeah, and it was a well-balanced attack for Gold Coast. Lots of different scores led by Shauna Preston, 6 points, and a quick 5 from Haley McDowell-White, leading all scorers in the game so far. Lil Dart with 8 for Southwest, but only one other Pirate got on the board there in this first quarter.
Yeah, Lil Dart really leading the Pirates in terms of the offensive side of things. So they do need to find another scorer that's just able to step up and get a couple of points on the board. And unfortunately, that's not going to do it with great defense there from the Gold Coast. That was number 8, Jade Peacock, taking the charge. Just couldn't quite work her feet around to get around. So Mino picking up the offensive foul there.
Yeah, I got to say, Gold Coast, when you look at the scores, you think they're really, a super offensive team, and they've shown that they're a tremendous offensive team. But the thing that's impressed me most is the defense from Gold Coast, really shutting down the Pirates, making them work hard. Holding any team to 10 points in a quarter is super difficult, and Gold Coast did that in the first quarter, and they're starting out pretty hot on the defensive end in this one as Cameron hits a long 2. And the lead is now out to 19 for Gold Coast over Southwest here in the Division I gold medal game of the Under-16 State Championships.
Yeah, Gold Coast really leading on all cylinders for the last about 7 or 8 minutes here in this game. Just great defense and great offense as well, but nice little move there from Southwest, just working her way around. So Neve Lale just getting that 2 points on the board, so that's a bit of a break for them.
Yeah, great footwork there from Lale, and if she can step up, or anyone from Pirates can step up, really help Lil Dart kind of get into the game. Pirates are really going to need Dart to score and score a lot here. Someone else, though, needs to step up to take a bit of pressure off of Dart for Southwest. Petrie checks back in for Gold Coast. Peacock going to get a breather, and also checking in is Fakaruru. That's Kaylee Fakaruru. And also taking a seat, Jordan Billing for Gold Coast. So first minutes there for Kaylee. Preston hits the first one.
And Sky Mason sitting in front of us here on the commentary bench as well, getting ready to check in for the shooter. So Shauna Preston makes the second, which she does. She'll get a bit of a breather as well, and Mason in for the Gold Coast.
Yeah, Preston's been really impressive, as has really all of the Gold Coast here so far in this first half of action. And here comes a bit of pressure off the free throw make. I like that from the Gold Coast.
Yeah, working that full court press to really try and drag this lead out a little bit, to really cement themselves in a good position for the win. It's great from the Gold Coast just doing that full court press, and it's working. Southwest is really struggling to break it as we see a jump ball here. Lil Dart just not able to keep her hands on that one, but great defensive effort there from Rotuno.
Yeah, Rotuno's done an excellent job here on Lil Dart so far this entire afternoon. Dart just really getting frustrated. She's trying to get herself involved. We've seen her the last few possessions in the paint posting up, just trying to get herself a couple easy ones, get the confidence up. But Rotuno doing a great job on defense, and She's done a really good job playing the point guard spot for Gold Coast here so far as well. Another missed layup, but another offensive rebound. This time it's lost, though, by Cameron. Southwest, I'd love to see them push the pace a little bit more, try and get a couple easy ones. See, kind of really methodical and trying to get themselves set up in that half court, but I think they might be missing a few opportunities in transition to really put a bit of pressure on Gold Coast.
Yeah, I think so as well, John. I think this lead is just starting to play into their mindset a little bit as well, and they're not playing as smooth a game as what we've seen throughout the week here at the state championship. So I think they just need to take a breather, realize that they're still in this. 19 points is definitely not something they can't come back from and get themselves back into this game. They just need to take a bit of a rest, look for some good opportunities. Like, that was a fantastic drive there, just working their way around. Nice little left-hand hook shot from Edwards. And that's the kind of play they need to look for, rather than rushing and taking long shots under pressure, just finding those open gaps, because there's definitely gaps there. They just need to find a way to breach them.
Well, they got to get stops on the defensive end of the Pirates as well, though. And at the moment, Andrews just checked in, misses the three. Edwards grabs the rebound for Southwest. And let's see if Southwest can make a little run here. About 3 minutes in to this second quarter here. This is what I like. This is looking better already from Southwest. A bit of ball movement, bit of movement from the players, but Edwards turns it over. It's lost, though, out of bounds there by Mason, but Southwest has gotten a bit stagnant. Really just one pass and a move and a shot. They need to move the ball and, like you say, attack those gaps.
Yeah, definitely. They've got the ball movement down pat now, I think. They've got this nice little shell set up around the three-point line. They're making the moves. They just need to find the actual gaps to take the shots. So ball movement is one thing, but you've then got to pass the ball and cut to find that open gap and make the defense move. Because I think that's what they're not doing at the moment, is they're moving, but they're not making Gold Coast move away from their defensive position to create those spaces that they can then penetrate to the bucket.
And Gold Coast has done a great job moving the ball around, getting a couple ball reversals, and really hitting players in great spots to score. As Petrie grabs the turnover, flips one up, misses. Coming down with the rebound is Minnow for Southwest. But again, here's one where you'd like to see them push a little bit. Gold Coast a little asleep in their defensive transition. And then Edwards steps out of bounds and turns it over. So it's a good opportunity there for Southwest that they missed. But you like the aggressive play. They need to get some points. And transition is one of those ways that you could potentially get some easy buckets.
Yeah, definitely so. And great time out there from Coach Williams as well. So there's a breakout on the floor. We're going to take one as well, John. But thanks again for tuning in, and we'll be back with you shortly with more live action from the Under-16 Girls Gold Medal Grand Final. And welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex. It's the Under-16 Girls State Championship gold medal game. It's the Waves and the Pirates, and Gold Coast out by 19 points. We've had a little bit of a scoring halt over the last 2 minutes, really, haven't we, John? There hasn't been a point on the board since around about the 8th minute in this quarter. So a little bit of a break here for Southwest. They're doing a good job of preventing Gold Coast from getting points on the board. Now they just need to find a way to get some on there themselves.
Yeah, well, Pirates only have 2 points themselves here in the quarter, and they need to get something going here. It's not that the game is over, but they just have not been able to find a rhythm. A lot of it is credit to the Gold Coast defense, because they are pressuring the ball and really doing a good job off the ball as well, denying passes and really wearing out the Pirates on the defensive end. But Southwest needs to get somebody involved here and get some points on the board, or it's going to be a very long afternoon.
Yeah, especially with Dart off the floor at the moment as well. Southwest really needs to find themselves a second scorer. Great to see the offensive rebound there, but that long three-point shot just a little bit too soft there. So Southwest really, they're doing a good job of making some offensive plays happen. They're just not getting that final execution of getting the bucket in the hole at the moment.
And you can see the frustration of the Pirates players. They have to realize, though, this is the championship game here. This is what you work all season for to get to this point and to win a title. As there's a good steal for Southwest and a great layup there from Destiny Minnow. And that could be a little spark there. You know, you won't get a bit of pressure, get an easy bucket, starts to build the confidence. Let's see how Gold Coast responds, though. I'm anticipating a pretty solid response from Gold Coast.
Yeah, absolutely. But from Southwest perspective, if they can get a stop here and then get another 2 points on the board, that's a 6-0 run. But great offensive work there from McDowell-White, just getting that nice little flip shot to roll in.
Yeah, it was a great reverse layup there from Haley McDowell-White. I was surprised at the pass from Mason there. I thought it was a really tight spot, but McDowell-White doing a great job finishing. And the Pirates also missing a few easy ones here that they would love to fall.
But definitely good to see Southwest working the offensive rebounds. They got 2 offensive rebounds in a row there, which is something we didn't really see a lot of in the first quarter. So good to see them working that. But again, very, very fast action up the court from Gold Coast to get that additional 2.
That's just beautiful transition basketball from Gold Coast. We saw a couple of dribbles from Petrie down underneath her basket, but the ball never touched the court after that, leading to a layup. That's as good as it gets in transition offense from Gold Coast.
Yeah, this Gold Coast team is just so fast in every aspect. You know, they pull a defensive rebound, they get the ball up the other end of the court and score within about 3 to 4 seconds. So they are a very quick, very efficient team.
A good defense there on Dart. Pirates fighting their way to another possession, but they're down by 21 now, 35-14, as Dart getting set to inbound for the Pirates on the baseline.
Yeah, 4:27 to go in the second quarter. Nice little simple inbound there. Turnaround jump shot, a little bit too soft though. I don't think she quite knew where the bucket was, so no good there from Shalepa. But again, Gold Coast is firing the ball down the court. They're already ready for a shot. But 3-point bomb there, a little bit too soft coming from Cameron.
And tipped around, Gold Coast gets it back, and then Preston puts it home. And the Gold Coast is just getting every bounce here, but I think they're really putting themselves in position to get those bounces. They're playing very, very smart, very aggressive, but not over-aggressive, which is great to see as well.
Yeah, definitely so. And that's just a fantastic steal there from Preston as well. You know, just took her time, worked out exactly where the play was, stole the ball really efficiently and got fouled down the other end on the drive. That's just a great passage of play from Preston. Yeah,
and Preston is playing at the 5 spot, but pretty impressive for the one of the taller players out there on the court to pick up a steal at about 3/4 court in her end and take it coast to coast and get to the rim. And she's fouled. She nearly hit that one, but she'll take 2 and makes the first. So score now 38-14. Gold Coast in the lead by 24. Second one's good from Preston as well. So here's where I'd love to see Pirates push the ball in transition. They're allowing the Gold Coast defense to really get set, not putting them under any pressure. And just, you can see they're trying to force the ball into Dart and Gold Coast. They're making it easy for Gold Coast to play defense as Preston hits the free throw, the layup. She thought she was fouled. There was a bit of contact, but no call from the referee.
I think that's probably the hardest thing that Southwest is trying to adapt to. You know, the game that they're playing out on the floor here is the game that they've played all week, and it has worked. You know, they've taken the ball down the court with a nice little bit of pace as we just see the nice little drive through the center of the bucket to get the foul and the N1. So that points goes to Brianna Mercer. Great little drive in. She got fouled, and that's the kind of aggression we need to see. But again, that's the aggression we've seen all week from this team, and it's worked for them so far. But dribbling down the court, settling up on that shell offense around the outside, that's not going to work against arguably one of the best offensive teams in the state win this Gold Coast Waves team.
And again, transition defense, though, also letting the Pirates down a bit. They're just allowing the Gold Coast to push the ball in transition. You see Gold Coast time and again scoring off of 1 or 2 passes, and Southwest just unable to control them in the defensive side of things.
Yeah, definitely so. We need to see a little bit more of that aggression coming from Southwest and, you know, just forcing the movement, because at the moment, Gold Coast Waves have it a little bit easier on the defensive end. They don't have to move too much to get the stop. They can kind of just, you know, play their normal game, not worry too much about where the gaps are opening up.
Good aggressive play, though, there from Dart. Makes a nice cut to the basket, gets fouled, so she's going to go back up for a couple shots. It's the 4th team foul on the Gold Coast. Bit of chatter from Coach Petrie. Bench wants him to send his players to the bench for a sub.
Which is definitely what is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, can definitely understand the frustration from the score bench.
And I think he just inserted Jade Peacock, and she gets a nice block for Gold Coast. Again, you see Southwest picking up full court, but that really plays into the hands of Gold Coast. You see them break that full court pressure quite easily, and then a couple passes, and there's McDowell White firing a wide open 3.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough position to be in with this Southwest team because on the one hand, I do believe they need to put more pressure on the Waves. They need to wear them down. They need to get them exhausted. We just see great positioning and great steal there from Peacock as she goes to the bucket for 2 off that beautiful steal. But that's the thing. Those kinds of moves come from fresh legs. So Southwest needs to wear down this Gold Coast team by doing that full court press, but they just need to be a little bit stronger in how they're holding that defense.
And I think you see there back-to-back turnovers on baseline out-of-bounds plays for Southwest, leading to 4 quick buckets. You don't want to say it's over, but Regan, it's quite deflating for players when you're out there and you're just getting dominated in the way that Gold Coast is dominating Southwest. It's a tough game to play because Gold Coast has been super aggressive. Their aggression has really led to their offense, I think. Defensive aggression, playing off the ball, pressuring the ball, and really playing that denial defense, frustrating Southwest on the offensive end, and then just the super aggressive play. It leads to their super aggressive play in attacking the basket, pressuring the Pirates defense as well. If the Pirates are asleep in that transition defense, Gold Coast is really jamming it down their throat, and that's what you like. That's a beautiful brand of basketball to play. The Gold Coast has a lot of talent, but they're playing beautiful basketball right now also.
And that's it. And I think coming into this game, Southwest knew what they were up against, having versed this Waves team on multiple occasions throughout the regular BQJBC season as well. And, Southwest is playing an amazing game of basketball. They're doing a lot of things right. Their transition down the court is really strong. They're getting the ball up. They're setting their plays. They're taking their time with that shell offense around the outside. They're doing some really amazing things. They're just coming up against a very, very tough defensive team in this Gold Coast team. So they're just finding a little bit hard to get those points on the board. But the way they're playing and the game that they have is something, that is absolutely credit to why they're here in this gold medal game, because they are doing an amazing job. Gold Coast is just that one little bit step ahead of them in terms of aggression and defensive strength.
And it is. It's a very difficult game to play here for the Pirates because of the Gold Coast, their depth, their talent, and that aggressive defense. The defense has been the most impressive thing for me from the Gold Coast in this game so far as Dart gets to the basket and lays it in. I've been super impressed with the Gold Coast defense, and offensively they've played really smart as well. I think if I'm Pirates, though, I want to try and force Gold Coast into a half-court game, which we see Pirates doing here, forcing it into a half-court game, slowing the transition. You see that. And then that's where the Gold Coast, if they have struggled a bit, it has been in that half-court offense. So when Pirates are able to slow things down, get their defense set in the game, they've caused a few problems for Gold Coast.
Yeah, and that was a great little high screen there from Dart as well to get the offense around, get the ball inside, and that was a beautiful passage of offense. Unfortunately, the ball didn't go in, but it was great to see that from Southwest because that's what they need to keep doing, and when those buckets go in, that'll give them a lot of confidence in the game that they're playing.
It's just, I can't say enough about the way that Gold Coast runs transition offense. They're putting on a clinic here in transition offense. I'd tell any team who wants to push the ball in transition, watch this game and watch what Gold Coast does. They run the lanes. They get past that first defense, and then they're beating you with the pass. Not the dribble, not that. It's the pass that's winning it for them and getting them those good looks.
Yeah, definitely so. They are such a fast team as well, John. And, you know, for girls that are 14, 15 years old, they've come into this tournament scoring 94 points, 123, 93, 93, 89, and they're on 50 points before halftime here. So for a group of girls that are 14, 15 years old, they have, you know, and it's credit to their coaches as well that they've had throughout their junior season, because these girls are disciplined, they're fast, they're quick, and they've got some amazing basketball talent as well. So they're doing a really incredible job out here this afternoon.
Yeah, foul called against Jade Peacock. She's going to go to line for a couple shots. I think that foul went against Sulepa. Charlie Sulepa. That's the 15th foul against the Pirates with 38 seconds to go. Gold Coast up 50-18 in a tremendous first half performance here from the Gold Coast. I mean, I hope I don't seem like I'm taking anything away from the Pirates, because I think most teams, and we've seen it throughout the week, Gold Coast has been absolutely dominating this week, and so far this afternoon it hasn't been any different versus the Pirates.
No, and that's exactly it, John. I think you said that really well, you know, because it's definitely not taking anything away from Southwest, because they are doing so much right in this game. They are just up against such a strong team down both ends of the floor in this Gold Coast Waves team. So, you know, like I said, Southwest has come through this entire tournament undefeated. So, you know, it is all credit for them to be here, and they're playing an amazing game of basketball, as we just saw on that drive there from Mercer. You know, nice quick offense up the floor, take the shot, just didn't quite fall in. But Southwest is doing a lot of things right. Gold Coast is just executing just about everything perfectly.
Yeah, and Shauna Preston puts the icing on that first half with a buzzer-beating layup. So heading into the halftime break, it's a 53-18 lead for Gold Coast over Southwest. And we've said that we've really said everything that we can say here, Regan. It's been another dominant performance from the Gold Coast, and it's not really one player who's doing it for Gold Coast. They're doing it as a team. They're defending as a team. They're playing offense as a team. It's truly, truly beautiful basketball being played by the Gold Coast Waves here, and a dominant team performance on both ends of the court.
Yeah, definitely so. I'm going to try and see if we can steal some stats at halftime from the tablet that they use for the score sheet, just to see how they're performing across the team as well, because the way that they're playing out on the floor, you know, they spread the floor and they do play such a team game. Because, you know, just talking right now, Johnny, I couldn't tell you who the top scorer is from Gold Coast, because we've said that many names that have got buckets on the board, because they are such a dominant
in this game, and probably in the tournament. You've got Jade Peacock with 9, Layla J. Cameron's got 9 as well, Haley McDowell-White with 7 points, and Lily Rotuno with 5. And Rotuno has done a great job defensively as well. We've seen Rotuno defend Lil Dart. We've seen Haley McDowell-White on Lil Dart, and Dart leads the Pirates scorers with 10. But, you know, it's on a lot of shots, and she's really, really had to work really, really hard. And, again, a lot of credit goes to the Gold Coast defense, because that's obviously been a focus of theirs coming into this game. They know they have to shut down Lil Dart, and they did that in the first half. Even though she's got 10, they've really made her work for it, and they've shut down the rest of the Pirates team.
Yeah, definitely so. And, you know, the halftime break is just about wrapped up as well. You know, we'll wait and see what Southwest comes out in this second half. Hopefully they come out firing and really aggressive, you know, just to make Gold Coast really work for those extra points that they're going to get in this second half. And hopefully we see Southwest put some points on the board. We're going to take a quick 10-second break here from Hibiscus Sports Complex, and we'll be back with you in the second half action very shortly. And welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex as we bring you the second half action of the Under-16 Girls State Championship Grand Final between the Gold Coast Waves and the Southwest Metro Pirates Purple. Great start there, straight out of the gates for Gold Coast with a steal off the inbound pass. Couldn't quite get the execution on the three-point shot, but great aggression straight out of the gate.
Yeah, and if you're Pirates, that's the last thing that you want to do is start off the half with a turnover. But you know, Gold Coast unable to capitalize on it just yet. They do fire a three-pointer that goes off the back of the rim from Mason. And now Southwest has it with Dart, looking to push the pace a little bit. Going one-on-one with Rotuno. Picks up her dribble. Nearly has it stolen. Rotuno does nearly come down with it. She slams her head on the ground. That hurts. She's in a lot of pain there. Super aggressive play there from Lily Rotuno, but she hit the deck really hard there.
Yeah, she's been really aggressive on the defensive end of the court the entire game. She's come out and she's been tasked with a really difficult job of coming up against Lil Dart, who, as you said, is the #1 scorer across the entire tournament. And she's done a great job to reduce her to only 10 points so far in this first half of basketball. So she's had a really tough job, and she's stepped up to the mark and done a really great job.
And, gee, she took that hard hit, and then she's back out there defending Dart. And Pirates just not communicating there on the offensive end. It's a shot clock violation for Southwest. No, didn't hear anyone talking out there. Nothing coming really from the bench either about the shot clock winding down there. So a couple of possessions here for Southwest and a couple of turnovers. And here's Rotuno. I thought she was going to need to come off after slamming her head on the court, but she's out there. That's real toughness there. That's exactly what you want to see. Hopefully she's okay, though, as Mason misses. Petrie, they're going to call it jump ball. As Dart grabbed the rebound, Petrie tied her up.
Yeah, it didn't look good early on there for Rotuno, just immediately grabbing the back of her head. We could see those, shakes from behind as well, as if, you've hit hard and you got that cry coming, but she stood up straight away and went firing. So, yeah, great aggressive play there from Rotuno, be it back out on the floor. So it's still 18:53. We're about a minute and a little bit into the third quarter. Both teams yet to score. Can Southwest now get the first points on the board? No, as there's great defensive pressure there from the Waves to get the turnover.
It was good creativity there from Dart. She got the matchup she wanted as Petrie switched out on her on the screen, but Lale unable to handle the pass from Dart. And again, 3 possessions for Southwest and 3 turnovers to start the half. And Cameron aggressive, looking to hit Petrie. Petrie picks up the dribble and puts it on the floor, finds Mason wide open to lay it in. And again, you have to be aggressive if you're Pirates defensively, but they're just a little over-aggressive on that one.
Yeah, and that was quite good inside-outside play there from Gold Coast as well. The ball went in for what looked like was going to be a drive, dish out, draw Southwest up to the top of the keyway to try and get themselves away, which opened up that backdoor cut, which was just beautiful play, sorry.
And Rotuno aggressive on the defensive side of the thing. Rotuno picks up the foul. A little too aggressive on the defensive end. Coach Petrie doesn't like it. Well, doesn't like the call, but
no, great communication from the referee as well. Petrie just stepping up right in front of us, pretty much at halfway, but just politely asking, step back to down where your bench is. But I think the referees as a whole have been doing a really great job here this afternoon. Gold medal game, high pressure, big atmosphere. There's a lot of people here, but great job from the referees and a great job there from Southwest with Liliana Edwards draining the 3-point drop.
Yeah, great jump shot there from Liliana Edwards, and there's a little turnover from Gold Coast. So maybe that 3-point shot could spark the Pirates here a little bit. Let's see if they can get a little run going here. Certainly got the crowd into it a bit. Nearly turned it over. Good recovery there from Minnow. Now Dart's going to fire a 3. That's a deep one. That's an air ball. Dart, you see her kind of forcing it a little bit on that one there, trying to get herself back involved in this game.
Yeah, it's giving herself a little bit of a heat check, just trying to get herself involved, try and build up that energy and those hormones that just make you fire and get engaged and excited, and just really trying to find that little bit of extra energy to really get the Southwest team going.
It's the 3rd foul. I think that one went against Dart. 3-point attempt is too strong from Kaylee Fakararu. And here comes Petrie. She has it stripped by Minnow. Minnow looking to push here for Southwest. Goes right at the defense. Misses the layup. It's knocked out of bounds off of Gold Coast, so it's going to stay with Southwest. And checking into the game for the Pirates is Nikita Marama. Minnow going to get a breather. And here comes Haley McDowell-White checking in for Kaylee Fakaruru.
And once again on that drive there, Johnny, just great defensive effort from Rotuno. Just got herself in front, got her hands on the ball, stripped it out of court. She's just got great positioning, great footwork to try and get herself into that position when it didn't look like she was going to get there. And unfortunately on that situation, she just stepped up a little bit of a fraction too late to get the foul. Oh, it's not going on Rotuno, sorry. They're going to call that from behind.
Oh, Dart really looking to get herself involved in this game, and she has to. Her team's down big, 34 points, the deficit for Southwest. And Dart's had to work for everything she's got here. But you love her versatility, and I like her attitude. Her body language is pretty good. You see her just keeping positive, trying to get herself a few touches and some couple easy looks if she can.
Yeah, definitely so. And she went 1 from 2 there from the free throw line. As again, Gold Coast is getting the ball down the court as quickly as they possibly can. And great drive from Petrie drawing the foul. So she's going to go to the line down the other end now for 2.
Yeah, and Peacock there, just not sliding the feet in time there. Got Petrie with the body.
First one just rattled around the edges and bounced out for Petrie.
55-22 the score here.
The second one.
The second one. Makes it 56-22. Great job there by Rotuno on the defensive end. Just super, super aggressive and really doing a great job helping defense, but recovering off of that help and then able to match back up. Just been really impressed with her play, and here she is open for 3. She passes it inside to Mason, back out now to Petrie. Looking inside, McDowell-White flips one up. It's off. So a stop there for Southwest. But Rotuno has been one of the more impressive players. Like I said, I mean, she's just doing it all, offense, defense. Just been impressive.
Yeah, definitely so. And, Rotuno's, well and truly on her way to take out the Stream Team Australian Nothing But Net Media Award for Defensive Player of the Game, that's for sure. I mean, she's just working hard down both ends of the floor. She doesn't have that many points on the board under her name, but her defensive effort has stopped a significant number of points, mostly from Lil Dart. I'll eat my words as she just drains a 3-point shot right in front of my face as well. Yeah. So she could clearly overhear me as I was saying that she hasn't put many points on the board, but drains the 3. But, she may only have, I think that's probably 8 points now for her under her name, but she has easily stopped 10, 12, 16 points, mostly from Lil Dart, but from other players from Southwest as well.
And she's been fantastic. I mean, she's hit that was her second 3-pointer she hit so far today. She started out their scoring, I think, or her scoring with a 3-pointer as well. So doing a great job offensively, but been really impressed with the Gold Coast defense. I probably sound like a broken record here to anyone who's actually listening to us. They probably have the volume turned down a bit, but just been really, really impressed with the Gold Coast defense, and that previous defensive possession is a prime example of it. Communicating, allowing each other to switch, making sure that when you do switch that you're checking in and you're checking the right person. When you're helping on Dart, because they are trying to help a little bit and double team a bit when she comes off that screen, but great recovery by Rotuno. Then she ties the ball up, gets the strip, gets the pass, and comes down and hits a 3. I mean, that's the effort that you love to see as a coach from your team and from your players. And when it's your point guard and one of the smaller players on the court for your team, it really sets a great tone for the rest of the team. And Rotuno has done a great job of that today. Yeah,
definitely so. She really has. And like we've said the entire game, John, just this Gold Coast team and the way they've played the entire game as a team, it's hard to pick out one player that's done more than any of the others, because they just are such a strong network of players across the entire team, and the bench players as well. They've just done such a great job, and credit has to go to Coach Petrie as well, because he's obviously done a good job of disciplining these girls to play that team game of basketball.
And you see the Pirates are doing, like you said at halftime, the Pirates are doing a lot of good things, but it's that final execution, I think, that's really hurt them when they are doing these good things. You saw a nice drive there from Edwards, but just a miscommunication and a late pass maybe from Edwards. But and those are the kind of things, as we see McDowell-White hit the wedgie. We haven't seen one of those for a while. So
it's been a while since we've had a wedgie on the court.
Yeah. But again, Southwest, they're executing, but they're not executing fully, I guess. They're not completing if I want to use a rugby league term, they're not really completing their sets, I guess. They're executing, they're getting their feet in the paint, but it's that last pass or that last cut that's really let them down. McDowell-White open for 3, banks that one home. Bit of a smirk there on Haley McDowell-White's face. She knows she didn't call that bank, but she'll take it.
And again, that's just that beautiful offense from the Gold Coast. Pass inbounds to the top of the 3-point line, kick out to McDowell-White, wide open 3-point shot. They're just so efficient and quick with their offensive sets.
Petrie breaks the pressure from Southwest. McDowell-White goes to the left hand, flips it up with the left and misses everything. But if I can go back to the offensive possession for Southwest there again, it was that last step. Great drive, great opportunity, nice open pass, and you catch and you miss the layup. It's those little things that are really hurting. And you don't necessarily want to. I'm not trying to harp on it, but that's a thing. I think when you look back, and the Pirates will look back at this game, they'll see those little things that really hurt them this afternoon. And when you're playing a team like the Gold Coast, you have to capitalize on each and every opportunity that you have.
Yeah.
And at the very least, you don't want to hurt yourself. And Pirates have really hurt themselves in a lot of situations here today.
Yeah, definitely so. And I hope the Southwest girls and the coaching staff as well do jump on and watch the stream, and and just look at how open the floor can be. It's one thing to be out on the floor and trying to work out and find gaps in that, and for us to sit here on the sideline and go, oh, do this. So, do jump on, check out the game, look at where those gaps are, because they're doing so many things right, but they've just got to open up their vision that tiny little bit more just to find out where the gaps are. Or, if I just pass the ball over here and cut here, defense is going to move to the left, and I'm going to have this great drive down the center of the court. This just goes out to every single player, whether you're on the floor here tonight or whether you're someone else watching. Game tapes, game tapes, game tapes.
Yeah.
There is no professional player in the league that has not watched their own game tapes back, because you learn so much from watching the floor and just going, oh man, if I had have passed off to the left-hand side and just done a back screen here or backdoor cut, you learn so much from watching your own footage. It is unbelievable. It's the same as myself as a referee. You learn so much about your own game by watching back a tape.
Foul called there on Jordan Billing, or against Billing. See who they give that one to. It goes against Bella Fletcher for Southwest. That's the third team foul on Southwest as Preston gets set to check back in for Petrie. Inbounds goes to Billing, looking inside. Bounces back to Preston. Nice pass from Preston. And finishing with the floater, Jade Peacock. Preston's been really impressive also, doing a little bit of everything here for Gold Coast, not only this afternoon, but all week long. Good defense there from Gold Coast that leads to another Pirates turnover. And here's Andrews with it now for Gold Coast. She trips over. Goes out of bounds, though, off of Edwards, so it's going to stay with the Waves. Checking in for Pirates is Mercer and also Minnow. Dart and Edwards going to get a breather here for Southwest. Andrews gets it in now to McDowell White. Doesn't use the Billing screen. Billing gets it now. Preston hands off. McDowell White gets inside, kicks it to Preston. Jump shot up. Too strong. Another rebound, though, by Jordan Billing. Preston in a bit of traffic, loses it. There's a foul, though, on the floor. Let's see who they give this one to. Going to go against Sulepa, so it's going to stay with the Gold Coast. Fourth team foul for Southwest here in the third quarter.
It's much nicer defense from Southwest as well, though. Yes, it ended up in a foul in that instance there, but just seeing the girls press up a little bit harder. Gold Coast hasn't had an easy shot in this passage of play. So, the girls are working hard. They're getting their feet in front. They're trying to do a really good job of just preventing those passages of play. As I speak my words, just couldn't quite get across enough. I think Fletcher thought she was out of the way, but just happened to get that clip on the side of the leg for the foul there. But a much better defensive effort from Southwest on that one.
A 15 foul, that's Fletcher's third. Preston at the line for a couple shots, missed the first. Few dribbles, second one goes up. That's no good either. Billing with the offensive rebound, they're going to call it jump ball. As she's tied up and possession arrow favors Southwest. Good recovery again. You see Gold Coast aggressive in the front court. Southwest beats it, but they don't give up on the play. They just sprint back and knock the ball out of bounds to force Southwest into half court again. Good offensive rebound there, though, by Fletcher, giving Southwest another possession here.
Yeah, it's good to see Southwest getting those offensive boards as well. They didn't get a lot of them in the first half. Great recognition there of the shot clock and where the defense was. So great shift there and move to the right from Fletcher, just drawing that foul with about 3 seconds left on the shot clock. So really smart offensive play.
Yeah, great move and beautiful footwork there from Charlie Sulepa. Going with the step through. Andrews picked up the foul, the third team foul on the Gold Coast here in the third. First personal on Amelia Andrews. Sulepa can't get that one to fall. Second one off as well. Preston grabs it for Gold Coast. McDowell White again goes to the left. Tries to dump it inside for Peacock. It gets tipped out of bounds off of the Pirates, so it's going to stay with the Waves. Nice baseline out of bounds play there.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful inside passage of play straight from the out of bounds.
Yeah, Peacock finished with the left hand. It's a 44-point lead here for Gold Coast. And again, I love what Gold Coast is doing. They're staying aggressive. I like to see that. Doesn't matter. A lot of basketball left. That's the style of play they want to play. You play till the final whistle. I love it. Cameron inside out, goes to Billing. Corner three is up. It's short. Offensive rebound and put back, though, by Preston. She's been everywhere for the Waves this afternoon. Lead is 68-22 for Gold Coast.
And that's one of those situations that I was talking about earlier, Johnny, where watching that back on tape, you can really see how easy that shot would have been to prevent, because Preston seemingly came out of nowhere and just grabbed that board. But you would notice that not a single Southwest girl looked behind, spotted where their player was, and then blocked them out. So, it was just that simple little bit of recognition of turning around, seeing where your player is, and getting a body in the way, which is not what happened. They just looked up, tried to grab it, and Preston, very, very smart player, came in and put the nice put back.
McDowell White travels and turns it over. Sub for Pirates here, as Ewan checks in for Nikita Marama. McDowell White gets it back after inboundings. Now Cameron has it top of the key for Preston. Preston double team, nearly loses it. McDowell White has it now back inside for Cameron. Flips one up and in. That's a great result there for Gold Coast as they beat the buzzer.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice passage of play right on the buzzer. Nice little spin, flick up, and very lucky fall to get that one through the bottom of the net.
Firing a three is Sulepa. That's too strong. Billing comes down with the rebound. Now Cameron has it for Gold Coast. Picks up her dribble. In a little bit of trouble here. Over-aggressive play, though, from Brianna Mercer. That's a foul. That's going to be 2 shots as Southwest is in the penalty. So at the free throw line, Layla J. Cameron. She's been really impressive too. You can't knock any of the Gold Coast players this afternoon. They've just put on an absolute clinic today, and everyone does their job too. Like we said at halftime, it's not really one player standing out at you. They're just they're all individually talented, but when they come together as a team, they've just been super, super impressive.
Yeah, definitely so. I reckon this Gold Coast Waves team, they could give some of the SBL teams a run for the money, I reckon. Like, they're just such a disciplined, high-performing young group of athletes that they could take on some of the SBL teams.
There's the Pirates hurting the Gold Coast in transition. A great look there from Mercer. And finishing strong was Fletcher. Gold Coast will have the final shot of the quarter with 5 seconds to go on the game clock. Cameron goes to the left, looking inside. It's turned over, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. So heading into the final fourth quarter, it's 74 for the Gold Coast to 26 for the Southwest Metro Pirates. it's pretty much over from here, Regan, I think. I don't know if we can make a 48-point swing in one quarter, but I know Southwest is going to give it a red-hot go.
Southwest they're definitely going to want to end this game on a high note. So they're going to want to come out in this fourth quarter just firing on all cylinders, playing a really great fourth quarter of basketball. They'll want to come out strong defensively, get themselves in front. They want to get themselves in front, get some defensive rebounds more than anything, because the number of putback opportunities that Gold Coast has had in this game is quite high compared to what probably should be on the cards at this age group. So if they can play a strong defensive fourth quarter of basketball, I think Southwest can still come away having been really proud of their efforts and what they've actually achieved in the game here tonight. You know, they're still going to keep this Gold Coast team to probably one of the lowest scores that they've had all tournament. And they've done a really good job defensively in a lot of ways as well against the Gold Coast Waves.
Yeah, and let's not forget the tournament that Southwest has had up until this point, undefeated. You know, they went through their pool play undefeated, and they were smashing teams as well. You know, the closest game they had was a 2-point win over Logan in the second game of their pool action. Excuse me. But Gold Coast has been running through the Southeast Queensland and the state for the last couple of years, so not necessarily a surprise, this result. Probably a little disappointing for Southwest, but they're doing a good job. If I'm Southwest, I want to try and win this quarter and win it comfortably if I'm them. But again, you know, you turn it over to start the quarter. It's just not. You're immediately on the back foot right off the first play.
Yeah, it does become very hard if you turn it over straight off that inbounds play, because you know, you've got the opportunity to get some nice aggressive offense straight off the bat, and then you start on a down, you know, on a negative point. But look, the Southwest girls still have so much energy as well. Like, we haven't seen them slow down. We haven't seen them walking or, you know, struggling to get into defensive position. So there's still obviously a lot of energy from the girls. So they'll be able to recover from that. They're still putting up a really great defensive fight here, and they've just kept the Gold Coast team to almost a 24-second shot clock violation as well. So, you know, they'll come out and they're going to have a firing last quarter of basketball, I reckon.
And Southwest got a couple stops there. Again, Gold Coast, though, doing a great job on the offensive glass, giving themselves a second and a third chance opportunity. But picking up the foul there is Brianna Mercer. And just Pirates going to fight to the end here. Force there from Minnow. Minnow goes to the left hand, and again, good defense though from the Gold Coast. Wide open for three. It rolls in and out for Jade Peacock. Again though, Gold Coast in there. One player from the Gold Coast against four in Southwest, and it's Cameron tying the ball up and keeping the possession for the Gold Coast. And again, just impressed with how they're playing. They're up by they're up by 48 points here, and you still see Cameron fighting for an offensive rebound.
Yeah, it's been a really strong game from all of the Gold Coast girls. We see a nice little flick up there for the 2 points on the inside. You know, I think a lot of things have gone right for Gold Coast. They're such a well-disciplined team. I know I've said that a couple of times, but they're just playing really good basketball, and everything is going their way. As we see down the other end of the court, a nice little finger roll there from I think it was Shilepa. Just getting that one to fall in as well. So, again, it's nice to see Southwest coming out in this fourth quarter and still playing aggressive offense.
Nice pick and roll. Good look there. Mason unable to come down with it. Comes out of bounds off of Southwest. Pirates going to the bench, as are the Gold Coast Waves. Score bench going to have a word to the referees again. They've been asking the Waves to send their subs to the bench. It's been an issue all game, but don't know if it's going to change now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm not so sure why Coach Petrie isn't sending them through the bench. I mean, that's the same from under 8s all the way through to QBL, FIBA, everything. So not too sure what's going on there.
Getting to the rim is Lale. She misses. Dart misses another attempt. Here comes Ewan for a jump shot that's off. Dart, another offensive rebound. Putback is short. Pirates now doing a bit of work on the glass here on this possession.
And this is what I was talking about, Southwest is going to want to come out firing, and they've just pulled themselves, probably 4 or 5 offensive boards, and they've put up some really nice shots as well. They haven't had the luck of getting it to fall, but they're still fighting on all cylinders to try and get a couple of last-minute points up on the board.
Good, strong drive there by Rotuno. She's fouled. She's going to go to the line for a couple shots. And an interesting quarter here so far, Regan. Both teams kind of struggling a bit to fire. I think Gold Coast, though, doing a bit of a better job getting to the free throw line to try and get some points on the board.
Yeah, I think so. Gold Coast has definitely had a little bit more of the possession in the fourth quarter here so far, and doing a really good job of drawing those fouls as well to get themselves on the free throw line, as we see the second shot there for Rotuno fall in as well, bringing them to 79. But, like I said, credit to Southwest as well, because it's really hard in a game like this where, you're down by 50-odd points to still come out with the same energy, the same aggression as what you did when the game first started. And as we just saw there from Dart, really nice drive down the right-hand side of the court to get that 2-point bucket on as well. So really good to see that the Southwest girls are still coming out with that same energy.
Yeah, good hands there from Sulepa. Dart kicks ahead. Good read there by Petrie, though, getting a deflection. And then but unfortunately for her, she loses the ball out of bounds off of her foot. But good aggressive defense there from Southwest, and leads to a bit of a transition opportunity. They're unable to capitalize, but still get that second possession again. Three-pointer is up. It's too strong, though, from Mercer. Another offensive rebound. Ewan's jump shot is strong as well. Cameron comes down with it. She kicks ahead for Petrie. Ewan nearly stolen it, but got a deflection instead.
Yeah, and that's probably 6 or 7 offensive rebounds for Southwest this quarter alone, and we're only 3.5 minutes in, So again, really, really good to see the Southwest girls fighting for those offensive rebounds, because they haven't done that through a lot of the game, but they're really trying to get those offensive boards and the putbacks.
Dart gets called for the foul, pushing Rotuno in the back. And again, that's a lot of that creative, aggressive play of Rotuno. Not over-aggressive. She's just the Energizer Bunny out there. She's just all over, going 110% on every single possession from whistle to whistle, from one end of the floor to the other.
Yeah, absolutely. And has been the whole game as well.
Yeah, she's been great. As Mercer checks out and Edwards comes back in for Southwest.
And that's just a beautiful inbound passage of play.
And we've seen Gold Coast score at least half a dozen points off of baseline out-of-bounds plays, and to me, that's the sign of a well-coached team when you're scoring those easy buckets.
Oh, and great steal there from Petrie as well, just getting in the right place at the right time, and then beautiful fast break up the court as well for the nice easy finger roll for 2.
Yeah, Petrie's been awesome today also for Gold Coast, doing a bit of everything, as the three-pointer is well off for Southwest, and here comes Petrie again, going to the right hand, missing. Tipped out of bounds, though, off the hands of Ewan, so it's going to stay with Gold Coast.
And off that out-of-bounds play, Southwest is going to call themselves a timeout, so Coach Williams going to want to have a bit of a chat to the girls. We're going to take a quick break as well, but stay right with us because we'll be back with you shortly for the remaining 5.5 minutes of the Under-16 Girls Grand Final. And welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex and the Under-16 girls gold medal grand final game between the Gold Coast Waves and the Southwest Metro Pirates Purple. This stream is brought to you by Panagos Productions and the Stream Team Australia. Always want to shout out to my good man John Iguana on the commentary with me as well. John, great game here today. Another great inbounds passage of play straight away from the Gold Coast Waves.
Yeah, and again, that's exactly what Coach Petrie drew up for the girls to run, and they ran it to perfection. And like we said, they have to have at least 8-10 points out of baseline out of bounds plays, and that again is the sign of a well-coached team. They're all super talented, but the thing that takes talent to that next level is being able to play together as a team. And when you have a team operating as a single unit with the talent that they have, Gold Coast, it goes to show. You see the scoreboard; they're up 55. And just really dominant today in a championship game.
And great to see Liliana Edwards from Southwest just shrugging off that little bit of a ball to the face as Gold Coast girls just ripped the ball through, just got a little bit of a clip on the side of the face, but great to see her fighting through again. Just going to show the strength of the girls out on the floor. Had a little bit of a hold of the face, but she's stayed out on the floor and she's going to fight through it.
Edwards has it, flips it up for Dart with 4 on the shot clock. Dart's going to have to get a shot off. Fires a deep one. It's an air ball. Here comes Petrie again. Just another possession there for Gold Coast where Petrie gets the ball and just turns it into her own fast break. And that's what you love to see from your bigs. You have to be able to have that bust-out dribble, and that was a perfect example of it there from Petrie.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we see a great defensive rebound there from Edwards, just trying to get herself down the floor for that fast break, but again, too good from some of the defensive players from Gold Coast, just getting themselves back and getting in front to stop that fast break opportunity.
Pass inside, nearly stolen. Who's in there? Rotuno. She ties up the Pirates player. It's Lale, and possession's going to stay with Southwest. 4:30 to go in this game. 87-30 the lead for Gold Coast. Two on the shot clock. Ewan is fouled by Mason. Don't know if it was a three-point shot. I think it was 2.
Yeah, I think the referee symboled 2 at the end there. So 2 shots there for Ewan from Southwest, but again, it just goes to show as well, and we've talked a lot about the players out on the floor as well, but coming from my background, just a great job from the referees out on this game as well, because like I said, a lot of people aren't aware of it, but the referees are out here competing just as much as the players are to get their position in this gold medal game, and a massive shout out to Caitlin Hurd and Riley Chapman on their efforts in this game, because I think this has been an incredibly consistent game down both ends of the floor. They've let the girls play aggressive, and that's what we want to see because that's getting them ready for the next step in their career. And, a big shout out to those two as well because they've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, referees have been awesome today. It's been a fairly physical game, but the referees have let them play that way, and that makes it an enjoyable game to watch. No one likes to see a foul fest. No one likes to see the stop-start. And you can see that both teams playing aggressive. They want to push the ball in transition and play that aggressive style of play as both teams go deep to the bench. Don't know if Gold Coast is sure who is supposed to be coming off there. They sorted it out at the end. So Andrews has it now for Gold Coast. She's going to run point. Fakaru with a three-pointer misses. Coming down with it for Southwest is Sulepa, but she stepped out of bounds, so it's going to stay with the Gold Coast. But we saw Cameron come off, Petrie come off, Rotuno comes off, and McDowell White also comes off as Preston lays it in. And just a really well-balanced attack, and you got to think coming off of an under-14 national championships that this Gold Coast team could make some noise again at the under-16 national championships as we see a three-pointer there from Brianna Mercer for Southwest.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like this team from Gold Coast, they could do some real damage at national championships if they were to go away and compete because they are just such a strong team down both ends of the floor. And, you know, they would easily compete with, you know, your regular contenders, your Vic Metro, your Vic Country, you know, always some of the strongest teams in Australia. And this Gold Coast team would easily give some of those teams a run for their money. So it wouldn't surprise me if quite a few girls from this team do end up going away to national championships for Queensland South. Same with some of the Southwest girls as well. You know, it's just going to be, I think we have one of the best opportunities we've ever had to walk away with gold at that national championship.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a really impressive group of players, and be interesting to see who. I know that the state teams have already been, or I think they've been selected already, haven't they? So it'll be interesting.
Can't remember to be honest, Johnny.
But another 8-second violation there for Gold Coast. So you could see they see the championship inside, but they're not giving up. On their aggressive play, and like I said that earlier, I do love to see that from teams. You know, this is predominantly the bench players from Gold Coast, so Coach Petrie deservedly wants to give them every opportunity to play and get that experience playing in a championship game. Nice pass there from Dart, good hands, but a tough pass is stolen by Gold Coast. Billingcutt's fouled as a reward for her steal. That's a penalty for Southwest. So going to the free throw line for a couple shots is Jordan Billing. That was the third foul on Lale for Southwest. But Regan, for me, well, I want to ask you the question for watching this game. What was the real standout for you from the Gold Coast Waves?
As a whole, Johnny, I think it just has to be the discipline of the entire team. You know, they are such a well-structured, well-disciplined, well-trained team that works as a single unit. You know, and I think that's truly credit to, you know, the mindset of the girls out on the floor, the training that they've had from their coaches, but just the fact that they're a great bunch of kids as well. You know, they've come out, and to not have a single hot-headed player that's going off at the referees or a single player that's trying to do everything themselves. You know, they are playing as a single unit, and that has been their biggest achievement as a team throughout the entire BQJBC season, and also this competition here this afternoon. You know, I don't think that any team will come close to them if they can continue playing throughout their tournaments. If they play as a single unit, with the talent that they've got out on the floor, if they play a team game of basketball, they will absolutely be unstoppable.
Yeah, they've been pretty unstoppable this whole week, and then it's shown through to this grand final game here as they're now up 60 points. And again, you know, we have to give credit to the Pirates for making a run to this gold medal game undefeated. It was always going to be a tough task, but they've played it through from the start to the finish, and they're not going to. They'll be back again. You'd like to think they could potentially have a couple of players featuring in the Queensland team as well, but you know, it was always going to be difficult for them today. And I think when you're playing a team like this talented Gold Coast team, you have to get off to a good start, and I think Gold Coast just really suffocated the Pirates right from the get-go and didn't allow them to build momentum. And anytime Southwest felt like they had a little bit of momentum going for them, Gold Coast was able to respond and respond in a big way. They really, again, you know, you look at the score sheet and it's 94 points for Gold Coast, but to me, I think the defense is what really won them this game, because they completely really shut down Lil Dart, the tournament's leading scorer. And they didn't allow anyone else from Southwest to.
Southwest girls, do not walk away from this game disheartened with your performance. You know, this Gold Coast team, as I said, they are just an absolute power unit, and they are a very, very tough team to come up against for anyone. But the Southwest girls, you've got so much to be proud of. You've come through the entire tournament undefeated. You've had some massive wins on the board. You've played outstanding basketball the entire week here at Clump Road. And even in the game here this afternoon, you've come out and played some phenomenal basketball up against, you know, arguably one of the best teams in the entire country if they came up against other teams from Vic, New South Wales, WA. You know, it is an amazing team you're coming up against, but you've done so much right. And when you look at the score, like I've got the spreadsheet down in front of me about all of the games that Gold Coast has played, you have put just about more points on the board than a lot of the other teams that they've versed. You've kept them to 99 points, which, they've had a lot of games where they got up to 123 was their maximum number of points in the tournament. You've done a great job out on the floor today. You've played some amazing offense. A couple of little things that need to be worked on and tweaked, but overall you should be really proud about the way that you've come out and played this gold medal game.
Oh, to go through any tournament undefeated and get into the final game undefeated is an impressive feat in and of itself. And like you said, Regan, to get here and to continue to fight, I mean, they gave it their all, the Pirates. They just took on a better team on the day, and you could see frustration starting to set in a little bit as Sulepa gets called for the foul, but Pirates are fighting to the end, and they deserve a lot of credit also. I mean, they've come out into this game undefeated. They've beaten some great teams along the way. They took on the Sunshine Coast, Phoenix. They won that one. They won a tough game against the Logan Thunder, took out Southern Districts, and then Mackay as well. And they took out North Gold Coast, who's a great team as well in the semifinals to get here. So some really good wins along the way. You'd be disappointed in the result for the Pirates today, but you got to be proud of your efforts over the course of the entire week. And the final seconds are going to tick away here as Southwest looks like they're going to get the final points of the game, but it's going to be a 99-35 win for your under-16 state champion, the Gold Coast Waves. A super impressive performance, as we've said throughout the entire course of this broadcast, but a well-deserved win here for the Gold Coast. A great effort, a great team effort from the day one till now, and also a great effort from the Southwest Metro Pirates. Getting to this point, they have nothing to be disappointed in. They ran into a buzzsaw of a team today, but they've had themselves a great tournament as well. Nothing wrong with coming away with the silver medal, but congratulations and all credit due to the Gold Coast Waves. An absolutely dominant tournament, and they sealed it today with another dominant performance.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I think you covered off everything we needed to say. This Gold Coast Waves team has just been an absolute powerhouse all week, all BQJBC season, and they've got so much to be proud of as a team unit because they've really dominated throughout this entire tournament and very, very deserving of the gold medal for the under-16 girls state titles here at Hibiscus Sports Complex. And Southwest has done so much right in the game tonight, and they went out there with a lot of heart. They knew they were coming up against such a powerhouse of a team, but they kept fighting until the very, very end. And from the minute the game started, they went out with a lot of heart, a lot of energy, and a lot of passion. And they just brought everything onto the block. Everything that they could have done, they really tried to fight for. They got some really unlucky rolls, but they played a strong defensive game of basketball, and I think that's what really counts, is that even when times were tough, they kept fighting the entire way through.
Yeah, it was a great game. It's a shame that it wasn't a closer result, because you'd love to see a closer game in a grand final game. But again, the performance from Gold Coast was just absolutely phenomenal. And I think Lil Dart and the Pirates probably just got rattled a little bit early, and they just couldn't find their feet, and that goes credit to the Gold Coast defense. They really did a good job shutting down Lil Dart and not allowing any of the Pirates players to step up. And again, this Gold Coast team, they, like we said in the start and throughout the tournament and the afternoon, but this is a national championship winning group. They have a lot of championship game experience, and I think that showed as well. When you're able to continue to carry a group from one age group to the next and continue to play together as a group, you're going to have a lot of success, and that's what Gold Coast do. They know how to play together. They've played together for a little while in some really big games, and you see that championship experience today with a huge win over the Pirates for the title.
Yeah, absolutely. And, on to the unofficial awards that we're going to offer here from the Stream Team Australia. And, I think we've discussed it a few times throughout the game, John, but I think, best defensive player for the game, personally, my vote has to go for Lily Rotunno. I mean, she was just such a powerhouse defensively to, restrict the scoring coming out of Lil Dart, who is the #1 point scorer for the entire tournament. She had such a tough job coming into the game here this afternoon, but she did a really good job to restrict the amount of points she got on the board. And, just both ends of the court really played a consistent defensive game, got lots of steals, and just moved efficiently to get in front of her defensive players. So I don't think anyone deserves it as much as her.
Well, I mean, the Gold Coast team team as a whole was tremendous defensively, but I think Rotunno set the tone early. She was really, really aggressive in her defense on Lil Dart, and not just on the ball, but off the ball as well. We saw a lot of help defense from Rotunno. She'd helped to double team and was able to recover really quickly. We saw her pick up a couple of charges, so I definitely agree with you. Rotunno, defensive player of the game.
And then the other two awards we're going to give, I'm going to hand over to you because I was too busy playing with the screen the entire time, fixing up the stream. Best defensive player.
We just did defensive player.
Offensive, sorry. Man, it helps if I can speak English properly, which doesn't come down so well. But best offensive player.
Well, I think from an output perspective, we'd have to look at Shauna Preston for Gold Coast. I mean, she was impressive. She hit a few jump shots. She was able to finish at the rim. She was also really creative. I thought she was able to look at and create opportunities for her teammates. So I'd have to go Shauna Preston. She was able, I think she was the game's highest scorer. We don't have the stats in front of us, but I think she would definitely be the offensive player of the game for me.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. It would probably come down to either Preston or there's quite a few to actually go through, but Petrie as well did a really good job on the offensive end too. But from the bits of the game that I did sort of get to watch between streaming and obviously commentating, I think Preston did a really good job down both ends of the court. From Southwest side of things as well, you know, to go into the top three, I mean, Lil Dart is always going to be an amazing offensive player, and she's done so much right throughout the entire tournament to rack those points up on the board. But she's just so creative in how she finds gaps and gets points on the board as well. So, you know, I think that would easily be our top three. And then our final award as well, Johnny, for the Stream Team Australia unofficial awards, the MVP.
It's really hard to pick one player. It's obviously going to come from the Gold Coast Waves, but if it was my pick and you are giving it to me, I would love to give it to Rotunno, but I'm probably going to go with Jessica Petrie. Actually, you mentioned the points that she had. I can almost guarantee she ended up with a double-double. She had double digits in points. I'm sure she would have had double digits in rebounds, and she was really creative as well. I think as a whole, she defended really well. She was able to score points, help out on the glass, and create opportunities for her teammates. I'd have to go either Petrie or Preston, I think also. Preston, as we just said, so great defensively and offensively as well, creating for her teammates. So I'd probably go co-MVPs. If I could share it with the three, I would, but I'd probably go Petrie, Preston.
I couldn't agree with you more, Johnny. I think all three of those girls absolutely deserve all three of those awards because they did have such an amazing and such a consistent and disciplined game out on the floor as well.
Yeah, it was a great game and a great performance, and a really well deserved for the Waves. They were just the dominant team throughout the tournament, and they dominated again this afternoon. And you know, I sound like a broken record, but the talent, it's beautiful to watch because they're all so talented individually, but the way they play as a team, it's really, really beautiful basketball. If you like watching beautiful basketball and you like watching teams do a lot of the little things and do them well, watch this Gold Coast performance from today.
Yeah, absolutely. And that just about wraps things up here from us. Any final words, Johnny?
No, thank you so much for bringing me in and giving me the opportunity to call the game. I'm really looking forward to getting back into the swing of things with the QBL in a few weeks. And it just is great to see so much talent on the floor, particularly in the girls' game. The girls' game continues to grow and grow. And, you know, I think we saw a lot of future stars in this game this afternoon. So I'm excited for the future of basketball in the women's game in Queensland.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I say every single year, Johnny, I'm always glad that when it comes down to QBL finals time, I get to follow the women's competition and go away to the semis and the grand finals for the women's competition, because from my reffing days when I started doing the QBL 10 years ago to what the women's competition is now, it has grown and evolved so much. And the players as a whole are getting stronger and better as a whole. So, you know, I think a really, really great effort from everyone out on the floor there tonight. And I think that does wrap things up. And, I mean, I'm looking forward to the QBL season as well. So this does wrap things up officially from the Under-16 Girls State Championships from Hibiscus Sports Complex. And don't forget, we will be streaming one game every single round for the QBL season, which will be coming up, I think, officially kicking off in around about 2 weeks' time, Johnny. So
definitely
don't forget to tune in to the Basketball Queensland YouTube channel for all of the live streaming from Basketball Queensland. Also, don't forget to tune in. Me and the Stream Team Australia and Panagos Productions will be doing the majority of the Southwest home games here as well. And, of course, John Guana, Nothing But Net Media, and the amazing James Bowman down in Sydney, Australia. We're going to be bringing you those QBL games. So, once again, a massive, massive thank you from myself. I've been Regan Baker on behalf of the Stream Team Australia. John Guana, always my partner in crime from Nothing But Net Media. My beautiful girlfriend up on the camera helping us out as well, Gemma Kelleher. That wraps us up. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you again on a live stream soon.